Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, it's me, your host, Fearless Floyd. Today is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. And guess what tomorrow is? 420, everybody. So get prepared. Pack your bomb. We're getting ready. So, anyway, I know you hadn't seen me for a while. I've been MIA, but I've been MIA doing good stuff for myself. So, I want to show you what I've been up to. As you can see from the title of the video, I'm attacking my court case. So let me see what I got up here to share. All right, this is my cover page. I'm gonna stop sharing with that. So let me get over here, open this up. Hello, everybody. And there we go. So let me I'll play this video for you. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. And today is, what is today? I don't even know what today is. I think it's Saturday. Could be, I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, I've been MIA. The reason I've been MIA because I've been working on my own stuff. And what have I been doing? I know. What have I been doing? I've been busy. So let me see if I can flip this around. All right. Right here we have basically address labels. Here we have kind of a cream colored paper, a little bit different from your regular copy paper. This is what I'm using for dividers for my exhibits. And I have 48 exhibits. So what do? I put these together. I have a little system right here. And it just takes me not very long to knock a few of these out. So there's some of my boxes over there. I sent 5 of these out today. I have 12 more to build. This is the original master right here. Yeah, turn on all light. Yeah, a little better. You can see it's all bound up. All on the back. $39.49. What else are we doing over here? Oh, 28.48. What else are we doing? And we got some 56s. There's another one in here. There it is, 56. There's my affidavit of truth, 22 pages with references to exhibits. Like I said, this is the original one, so it's a little bit thicker than all the other ones. So, say hi to Sasha. Hi, Sasha. All right, so this is what we got here, kids. This one has first 13 exhibits in it. As this one, This only has 4. This has no exhibits. No exhibits, no exhibits, no exhibits. No exhibits, no exhibits, no exhibits. No exhibits. Need a binder. Exhibits. And I've probably gone through at least a case of paper. A lot of money putting this thing together. So let's just peruse to this one. Okay, there's my cover page, my mailing list, my tabs, my table of contents, Affidavit, right here to my prayers. And index of exhibits. That's strange. Anyway, there's my affidavits. Y'all want to see what I'm sending these clowns? All together for a nice little neat little bow. What I've been doing, I've got a lot more coming up. I'm going to start putting these together now. What that's going to look like. So I'll start taking those exhibits were over there, start putting them in here, boom, 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 work my way around the room. They'll toss it all 48 exhibits. And then they're ready to go. Put them in a box, put the address label on them, and drop them in the box Monday morning to go out. We'll see what kind of courts we can close down. So, looking over here, my co-producer. Well, anyway, that's what I've been doing. That's what's going on with me. That's what I've been working on. It's something maybe you wanted. This is what Ann has been doing, Ann LaFleur. So I got this process from her, and I emulated it, set it off. So we're gonna see what happens. Other than that, that's about it. So thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Fearless Floyd Show, yahoo.com. Y'all know what to do. Got some classes coming up next week. Go to fearlessfloydshow.com. Check it out. Appreciate you. I holler at you when I holler at you. And there you go. That's a little short video of what I've been doing. So let me actually get into the minutia of what I've been doing so you guys can see it. I want to break it down for you. Like I said, here's my binder covers and the cover page. So not only is this on the front and back of the binder, it's also on the first page. When they open the binder, this is what they see. All right. Some of you familiar with my case, others of you are not. And I am actually innocent, and I will show you why. And these are the binder spines that you saw. Now just print these out, and I have a paper cutter. I have a full-blown office here. I can do anything and everything any corporate office can do. All right. So go to the cover page. This is the table of contents. So I'm showing you guys how I put this together. Okay. And of course, there's the cover page, and that would be my lowercase Roman numeral I. And then the mailing list of recipients is 2, table of contents is 3 through 5. And that's what we're looking at here. Department of the Treasury Internal Revenue Service Form 56. I was originally going to put these in here, but I didn't want to punch holes in them to put them in the binder. So I just put them in the sleeve on the front page of the binder, all of them combined, as you saw in the video. Next, I have my affidavit of truth, alleging fraud, tax evasion, human trafficking, and involuntary servitude, 22 pages. My prayers, pages 20 through 21. Certificate of services on 21. My jurats on 22. Index of exhibits, 23 through 25. Exhibit numbers 1 through 48 is 26 through 73. And that's just the divider page numbers. That's not the actual page numbers of each, of the exhibits in total. Declaration of exhibits authenticity certification at the last page. So let me show you what the remainder of this looks like. Okay, this is my mailing list recipients, and of course, the Office of the Executive Secretary, Department of Treasury. J. Russell George, Inspector General of the Tax Administration, U.S. Treasury. GLDS Support Services, Internal Revenue Service. Government Accountability Office, Washington, D.C. Brian Nelson, Undersecretary of U.S. Treasury. Washington, D.C. Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury. D.C. Office of the Inspector General, Department of Homeland Security, D.C. Civil Rights Division, Criminal Section, U.S. Department of Justice, D.C. International Court of Justice in the Netherlands, The Hague. Greg Abbott, Governor and CEO of Texas. Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General. Renee Hinojosa is Director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Parole Division. The Board Chair and members of the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. Natalia Cornelio, the presiding judge over the 351st Judicial District Court of Harris County, Texas. Marilyn Burgess, the district clerk of Harris County, Texas. Lena Hidalgo, the county judge of Harris County, Texas. She's basically the CEO. But I'm not even sharing this, am I? So, sorry, kids. Here's the mailing list. Now, every one of these that are listed here, except this one that went to The Hague, and I'll tell you about that. All these have been delivered to the recipients. As you can see, they're Priority Mail Express. So I want to thank my co-producer for allowing me to. Thank you, Jesse. Well, I just didn't want to put it out there in the ether, but you know what I'm talking about. To mail these and with the weight was a significant cost. I'll forewarn each and every one of you. I don't need any. Now, I'll get over here to this international one here in a minute, but some of these cost up to, I believe, $82 a pop to mail, but they did get there the next day, which was surprising considering the U.S. Postal Service's prior actions regarding mail delivery delays. So anyway, I went to mail this one as well on Monday. And because it's international going to the European Union, as of March 1st, 2023, the European Union requires a U.S. Customs form to be completed prior to mailing. I went there, they told me about that. They didn't have any forms, so I had to come home. I did it online, printed it out, went back the next day, gave it to them, went no problem. However, even though I paid for the postage for this article to go to The Hague in the Netherlands, the European Union charged them, the recipient, the International Court of Justice, $31 and change to pick up their own mail. I know. I was like, what? They got to pay to get their own mail? What kind of deal is that? So that's what's going on with international mail. That was my own personal experience that I encountered. You can go on their website, look all this up. So be forewarned when you're sending anything overseas to the European Union that you need to have a customs form prior to your mailing. More likely than not, your post office is not going to have one in stock like mine did. or did not, and you will be forced to go home and do another one and return. And all right, let me share my screen. All right, this is my affidavit of truth. And of course, I put my gold foil seal up here. Fraud, tax evasion, human trafficking, and involuntary servitude by Carvin, Floyd Pleasant IV. And basically breaks down my whole case, exactly what went on, because as I keep telling you guys, nobody can prove that I am guilty pursuant to that right there of that year period. Absolutely impossible. And this breaks it down why. And when they convicted me and sent me to prison and kicked me out on parole, all this is fraud. The reason it's fraud because they never proved their case in chief. They never proved I was 100% guilty of all the elements of a third-degree felony DWI as of July 10th, 2001. It's impossible. That's why I have put the title to my Lexus up for grabs. Anybody who can prove I legally, under Texas law, committed a third-degree felony on July 10th, 2001. You can do it. I'll sign my car over to you. No problem. That goes for all you criminal defense attorneys, appellate attorneys, all you wannabe prosecutors and prosecutors in Harris County. I'm calling you out. Come on. Come get you a free car. Bet you can't. So anyway, this breaks down. I even cite, Supreme Court case law. This is basically, telling you all about it. What is a misdemeanor and felony DWI, Texas, law of the land, date of the offense. And I break it all down. And this is basically, a legal document of brief. But the holding case for DWIs in Texas, how to read the statutes correctly, is this from the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, 2005. It's Getz versus State, 156 Southwest 3rd, page 593 is when it starts. But this broke down to explain what the elements were, what's required to allege and prove to assess that a misdemeanor DWI can be elevated to a third-degree felony. And then if you're like me and you had just this crazy misaligned youth, and you got a couple felonies to stack on that, then you're a habitual felony offender and they throw you away. And that's what happened to me. So they want to throw me away so bad. They committed fraud. They've committed tax evasion. They've trafficked in a human, and they have forced me into involuntary servitude. That's a typo. So anyway, this just breaks it all down. And you can see how I just, I get down to the nitty gritty in this. And it's very intrinsic in its conviction towards what I'm, my claim that I'm actually innocent and that they've never proved that I committed a third-degree felony. So as you can see, this goes down, and as it goes, there's a lot of referencing to Getz, but it does reference the exhibits that are attached to, and of course, I cite the clerk's record. Okay. So you can see exhibits number 6, 10 through 11. Clerk's record 02, 07, and 60. And that should not be a comma after that. But I just keep going on and on and on. And this is when I provided the DMB business background report that they are for-profit corporations. Okay. And the chief executive officer is the Chief Justice of the Texas Supreme Court. Right there. Okay. And this is what another DMB for the County of Harris, room 351. This is all my gmiutility.org searches showing that how they match. Okay. This is a search for my warehouse receipt number, which is my TDCJ number, my prison ID number. That's my certificate of live birth number issued by the state of Texas. And that's my social security number. And please don't use it because you will get hemmed up because there is a fraud alert on it. So don't even try it. It's already out here, been published on YouTube a long time ago. And there's already a guy in federal prison behind that. So more than welcome. Knock yourself out if you want to go to jail. GMEI search for my case number. Okay. And you can look these up in the portal for the district clerk's office. I actually printed out a screenshot of that, of these showing this cause number, that cause number, and that cause number. As you can see, when I did the search, they come back the same identical records. So these are all connected. Now, I addressed the elephant in the room. Okay. So what I did is like, well, if y'all have some kind of contract with me and I owe some kind of debt to society, shouldn't there be a lien filed in the Secretary of State's office? So I did a search with Floyd P. Tarvin. Nope. I did a search under Floyd Pleasant Tarvin the fourth. Nope. Came back. No liens. If there's no liens, what's going on? All right. So human trafficking. Who is Floyd P. Tarvin? So I break all this down for him. Voluntary servitude, go into that a little bit. Here are my prayers. And more than one prayer, certificate of service, and my jurat. And that's where we'll conclude at page 22, as you see right there. All right. Now, in my exhibits, I wrote 3 memorandums of law. And the first one was fraud. Yep. Let me get that down a little bit. So, of course, gold foil seal. And I break it down. Fraud. What is fraud? What's the state of Texas define fraud as? Boom. Steal means to acquire property or service by theft. No. It's fraud for that. Value. Fraud defined by the United States of America. Whoever having devised or intending to devise any scheme or artifice to defraud or for obtaining money or property by means of false or fraudulent pretenses. I don't even have to go on, do I? There you go. And that's what they did. Fraud defined by Black's Law Dictionary. Okay. This is just a little 3-pager memorandum of law of what Texas, United States, and common everyday definition of what words mean. And I'm not sharing again, am I? Sorry. There we go. I'm a little rusty. I hadn't done this in a couple of weeks. So anyway, here's the fraud. It's just a memorandum, not signed or anything. Okay, of course, I have my copyright on here. Okay. And next one. I'm sharing the screen now. Now I'm getting the hang of it. Here we go. I'm back. All right. Of course, gold foil seal up here. Human trafficking, memorandum of law. Human trafficking defined by the state of Texas. And here it breaks down all the definitions. Effective consent includes consent by a person legally authorized to act for the owner. Consent is not effective if induced by force, threat, or fraud. Well, I think we've covered all three when you go into court, right? You got the bailiff with the gun and the badge and that pair of handcuffs, ready to take you into custody. Okay. We've got the judge up there threatening you. We got the prosecutor over there throwing plea bargains at you. Oh, you need to take 15 today because when you come back next time, it's going to be 25 years. That sounds like a threat. Sounds like coercion. Sounds like fraud to me, right? So anyway, just gave it a little highlight for them. Element of defense, which is standard. And it goes on down. Person means any individual or corporation, association, limited liability corporation, company, or any other entity or organization governed by the Business Organizations Code. This breaks it all down for them. Exactly what they mean in Texas. Forced labor services means labor or services other than labor or services that constitute sexual conduct that are performed or provided by another person and obtained through the actor's use of force, fraud, or coercion. Well, guess what a part of my parole conditions are? That I must seek and maintain gainful employment. Which leads me to my next memorandum of law, involuntary servitude. And we'll get to that in a minute. But here, broke it down, trafficking persons, what that looks like. And this one's quite lengthy because they don't like people being trafficked. Accomplice witness testimony and immunity. I mean, I broke it all down for them. This is like aggravated kidnapping. Ooh, hold him for ransom or reward. Fine by the United States of America. This one, they cover even more ground. Vessels for slave trade. Whoever, whether a master, factor, or owner builds, fits out, equips, loads, or otherwise prepares or sends away any vessel in any port or place within the United States or causes such vessel to sail from any port or place for the purpose of procuring any person from any foreign kingdom or country to be transported and held, sold, or otherwise disposed of as a slave or held to service or labor shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 7 years or both. Wow. What about all those prison transport buses that they fit out and equip and then load and prepare to send away with illegal aliens? Yep. Didn't go to ICE. So, queuing any person from any foreign kingdom or country. Okay. So they're slavery. Breaks it all down. What it looks like. Forced labor, whoever knowingly provides or obtains the labor or services of any person by any one of or by any combination of the following means: by means of force, threats, or force, physical restraint, or threats of physical restraint to that person or another person, by means of serious harm or threats of serious harm to that person or another person, by means of the abuse or threatened abuse of law or legal process, or by means of any scheme, plan, or pattern intended to cause the person to believe that if that person did not perform such labor or services, that person or another person would suffer serious harm or physical restraint, shall be punished under this section under subsection D. Well, in prison, if you don't go to work, you get a disciplinary case. And if you get enough of them, then you get put on medium custody and you are restricted. Physical restraint. Absolutely. Whoever knowingly benefits financially or by receiving anything of value. I can go on and on and on. So I want to break this down to how extensive you have to get when you are making your claims, especially when you're trying to shut down a court. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for somebody who's very highly organized. Jesse can attest to that. Just looking at everything that I had laid out gave him a migraine. And yeah, he for like the first 6 days, he didn't say a word, totally avoided me. no offers to help or anything like that. And I had to finally ask him, hey, man, for some reason you're not, wanting to help. He's like, man, I'm intimidated. Put it in a nutshell. He's like, well, can I do anything now? I was like, well, it's a little late now because all the mundane, repetitive, arcane stuff that really had nothing to do with putting the whole thing, the body of it together, I had already done. So I went ahead and did the whole thing myself. I did have a little bit of assistance from Stephanie, who was over here, and God bless her heart. This just, like I said, this just isn't for anybody and everybody. I would say it takes a special person to put something like this together, and there are not very many of them out there. Now, for all of you who want to challenge your own case, okay, um, you know, this is a lot of work. Let me get over here to the last one, involuntary servitude. Right here, and of course, gold foil seal. This one's a real quick one. Okay, now voluntary servitude. I want you to read you this. Okay, and this is by I believe this is a Representative Allen out of Texas. And this is House Joint Resolution 63, a joint resolution proposing a constitutional amendment prohibiting slavery and involuntary servitude. Be it resolved by the legislature of the state of Texas, Section 1, Article 1, Texas Constitution is amended by adding Section 36 to read as follows, and I quote, Section 36, no person shall be held in slavery or involuntary servitude in the state for any reason, including as punishment for a crime. Section 2, this proposed constitutional amendment shall be submitted to the voters at an election to be held November 7th, 2023. Close quote. So this ain't even in Texas. Okay, it's coming. We have a ability to vote on it this coming November, election day. The ballot shall be printed to permit voting for or against the proposition, the constitutional amendment prohibiting slavery and involuntary servitude. Well, I would think everybody in Texas would be on board with that, right? It should be like a gazillion to zero. So we're going to see how this works out. So voluntary servitude defined by the United States of America, but we're like a century behind. This should have been like 1823 or 1923, not 2023. So we're a little behind. So anyway, I have no idea why I have it extra. Oh yeah. All right. So what I did here, and there's a reason for this gap. Okay, and then here's my voluntary servitude. So what I did is I took the there's a whole article in the regarding the United States' definition of involuntary servitude. So what I did is I printed those out on separate pieces of paper and then printed these. Like I said, this isn't for the faint of heart, and you have to quite know what you're doing. And I probably have, I would say, another ream of paper in screw ups, which is not bad because I probably went through at least a case and a half of paper putting this thing together, printing everything out. At least, I mean, it's like, damn, I got to go back to Walmart and get some more. And I'd like, I bought two. No, this time I'll buy three. And it got to where every time I went, I was like, buy three because I want to have some extra when I'm done. And I just, it was like never ending. Let's see. And I believe that's everything. Oh, index of exhibits. I almost forgot the most important part. Let me show y'all what it looks like, put this thing together. Okay. It's a good thing to have an affidavit, state your claim for which relief may be granted. However, you have to support that with some factual evidence, correct? So who am I? Boom, here's my passport book, my card, my Muskogee Creek Nation ID card for Harbin Floyd Plesset IV, my Texas Department of Criminal Justice Correctional Institution Division ID card showing my warehouse receipt number. Okay. I'm connecting dots. Okay. Because you can see how these dots are going to start connecting after a minute. The state of Texas certificate of live birth number, 14262, boom, boom, boom. Social Security Administration card number, boom, 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 boom. See how I'm linking these numbers? Because I'm going to go to them later in my affidavit of truth, and I'm going to show them where these numbers come into play. Okay. How there's these accounts being set up behind the scenes that other people are profiting from, that somebody produced. Exemplified copy of bail bond for that number. Okay, to prove that I made bond on a third-degree felony DWI, that they had already made up their mind that that's what I was charged with, and that's not. Exemplified copy of a complaint for cause number. Okay. Now, exemplified copies are higher than certified copies. Exemplified copies are signed by another judge and supposed to be the district clerk, but generally it's a representative or agent, deputy district clerk that signs off on that. But another judge does sign off on the exemplified copy. They even hide this in the district clerk here in Harris County on their website portal, where usually when you click a drop-down menu, it'll say certified and regular. Well, you've got to actually scroll up one to get exemplified. They hide it. And I've never seen that before. Only on that website did I see that. So they don't want you to have exemplified copies for a reason. So here's the full case on Getz versus State. Printed the whole thing out. Here's the minutes in my first DWI from 1987. The minutes from my second DWI from 1994. Exemplified copy of my indictment from my third DWI. Exemplified copy of my charge to the jury. Exemplified copy of my judgment and sentence, which is my warehouse receipt. And exemplified copy of my docket sheet. And y'all remember I did the notice of demand for all criminal bonds, bondings, and other related connected instruments and or documents. Okay, well, I included this in there as well because they just sat on it. They did nothing with it. So I gave them my opportunity. They reneged. Okay, so of course, as you know, I sent my 1817 form in. I gave them, I sent them a judicial notice as well. Gave them 15 days. 15 days has elapsed. So you guys want to play stupid in room 351 in the county of Harris? Well, guess what? Stupid is as stupid does. So I'm coming at you. Now we're going to get the IRS involved. We're going to get Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, and whoever else I need to get involved. And we're going to get down to the bottom of this, and we're going to find out what's going on. We're going to hold some people accountable. Absolutely. Okay. So I threw that in there just to show them, and these dumbasses at the clerk's office, they have all this on the web, on the portal. You can pull it up. You can go to my case and you can pull up all this information. You can see that I'll get to it in a minute right here. Dun & Bradstreet background report. They got that published in there. They have this published in there showing that the presiding judge, Mark Kent Ellis, okay, is the manager over that court. Certified copy of Dun & Bradstreet business background report for the Judiciary Court of the State of Texas, which are, of course, for-profit corporations and are a subsidiary of the State of Texas, Inc. Absolutely. Okay. And here we go. We have the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR 27, Section 7211, which all crimes are commercial. GMIutility.org for my warehouse receipt number. Boom. GMI search for the State of Texas Certificate of Live Birth number. Boom. Social Security Administration number. Boom. Cause number. Boom. Cause number. Boom. Cause number. Boom. All this is printed out showing it. Here's Texas Business Commerce Code, UCC, Section 7-202 or .202, depending on what jurisdiction you're in. But this is the requirements of a warehouse receipt. Everything that needs to be in it and everything that needs to be in your warehouse receipt is in your judgment and sentence. Absolutely. Office of the Attorney General of the United States, circular number 3591 regarding involuntary servitude, how it is outlawed. UCC 1 financing statement, original file number. Of course, all of you guys have seen this floating around. Both of these now are all over the Telegram for sure. So I've included those. State of Minnesota, assumed name, certificate, and application. Certificate of good standing for Floyd P. Tarvin. State of Minnesota, assumed name, certificate, and application for Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV. Baytown Sun affidavit, publication, public notice for Floyd P. Tarvin and Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV. County of Walker, assumed name, certificate, Floyd P. Tarvin. County of Walker assumed name certificate for Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV. State of Texas assumed name certificate, Floyd P. Tarvin. Texas Department of Public Safety Criminal History Conviction Report for Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV. Secretary of State of Texas, UCC 11 Information Request and Debtor Search Certificate for Floyd P. Tarvin. Secretary of State of Texas, UC 11 Information Request and Debtor Search Certificate for Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV. Fraud, memorandum of the law. We already went through that. Human trafficking, involuntary servitude, trafficking and persons, and this is a very recent report come out by the Congressional Research Services from March 10th, 2023, but basically gives you a breakdown of what trafficking in persons looks like. And although this is for grants for victim services, not for victims, but for the NGOs that provide services for victims of trafficking, human trafficking. So that's all about. I threw it in there because it's the latest congressional digest of what they believe trafficking in persons looks like. State of Texas, state of Minnesota assumed name certificate application certificate of good standing for the state of Texas, which is owned by, me. State of Texas parole conditions for Floyd Pleasant Tarvin or Floyd P. Tarvin. Harris County District Clerk subscription portal search for case number. And this is where it lays out all these different right here. Where are they at? Those numbers. Okay. Let me explain to you what these are. Okay, that's my case in chief, the bifurcated two-stage trial, the guilt and innocence phase and the punishment phase. That's my direct appeal. That's my post-conviction. That's how it works. Okay, as we go on, double authenticated, exemplified copies of name change decree. The government of USIC order of appearance in Parece for the indigenous people of Maghreb al-Aqsa, land of Americas. That's another thing that I got from Ann. The government of USIA moves for this rightful court pursuant to juris rules, quotes, do that in there. And then, of course, the certificate of incorporation of the United States Corporation Company, which is also moving around on Telegram. And that's it. That's the index of my exhibits. And you have to put this all together in a nice, tight bow and hit them over the head with it. So give you an example. This is the master. Okay. There it is. That's what it looks like. That's an 1.5 inch binder. Put it up. Okay. There's my 3949 A's right there. See what I said? Told you. Put them in that front pocket. It just goes on and on. That's the master. And that's what it looks like. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, leave a comment below. Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. FearlessFloydShow.com is my website. I have these classes that I facilitate that Ann LaFleur presents. We've got the VCR, trust class, 101, 201, 301, and 401. What that looks like. 101 is just fundamental, basic, setting up a revocable living trust. That's it. If you don't know anything about trust, that's a class for you. You know a little bit about trusts, or you want to establish a trust and learn how to set one up and run one, that's the class for you. You already have a trust set up and you're utilizing your trust, that's not the class for you. Okay, you need to take on to the advanced classes. 201, deeds, all types of deeds you're going to be using in your trust and you're going to run into as you continue this journey. Deeds of transfer, conveyance, warranty, on and on and on. Very, very good class. We had that one last night. Good attendance. We had VCR Monday night. Great attendance for that one. And the week before that, of course, we had the 101 class. Coming up this Monday and Tuesday, we have 301 and 401. So what do 301 and 401 encompass? 301 is about mortgages and foreclosures, mainly about the foreclosure fraud, and walk you through the whole step-by-step process of how you can exposed to fraud in your mortgage and handle the fraud for yourself. She explains to you how to identify it and what to do to pursue it. So 401 is irrevocable trust. And I'm going to tell you, okay, that class is dense, very dense, tons of material, overload, um, and way overthought that class. But if you want to know anything and everything about an irrevocable trust, that's the class you want to take. It was, a lot of it was even over my head. I'm no big, I'm not an expert on trusts by any means. Do I understand them, how to utilize them? Yeah. How to set them up? Yeah. Do all that. But yeah, sorry. Hands out there. That's how she is. But so that's what's going up with the classes. Now I'm still doing the Easter special. I'm going to do it for the whole month. If you enroll in, okay, and it doesn't matter how you take these classes. So if you enroll all the classes, the VCR, 101, 201, 301, and 401, I'm going to give you a 201 through 401 or the VCR, one of those classes for free. Okay. So that's basically 20% off, throw a couple dollars here or there. All comes out in the wash. But basically, just sign up for the VCR, 101, 201, 301. I'll give you 401 for free, and we can roll from there. The Live to 5 show is still on hiatus. It will more likely be on hiatus into at least the first week of May. And the reason is because the Offshore Technology Conference is arriving at the end of the month. Actually, I'm scheduled for this Saturday to start that gig, and I may pick up more and more shifts along the way, but I'm definitely scheduled for Monday. Ooh, 401 class. I might make that. Definitely Monday's going to be postponed. So anyway, I'm looking at my schedule. I am doing the Offshore Technology Conference as well as the Houston Texans draft party at the Miller Outdoor Theater on, I'm just in. So I guess the draft start Thursday. Draft starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, so that's weird. I'm doing it on a Tuesday and then Thursday, but it's none of your business. I'll work that out later. Anyway, I believe I've touched on everything. So if this is Ann LaFleur's process of shutting down a court case, okay, and this can be utilized to shut down any type of court case. Mine just is in particular a DWI. You're going to attack it and you want to attack it the way I did. You should know what you're doing, understand the law, how to read law, research law, and how to write because you have to expose to fraud. If you would like my consultation or my assistance, you can reach out to me, Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com, DM me and Telegram. I'm in all this stuff. I'm on every platform you can shake a stick at. This is time consuming. What that looks like. Okay. I think I started on this either Saturday evening or a Sunday morning, and it took me a week. And that's wake up, make coffee, turn on the music, open the blind, get everything all nice and bright and sunny, and sitting down to work until I just became exhausted, and did that for a week until I put this whole thing together. I showed you the video, I showed you the pictures, the stills, and that's what it looks like. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of concentration, a lot of focus. I had to shut people off to do it, disregard Telegram, emails, everything, just to focus on this, to keep my focus so I didn't have to stop and redo anything or make a whole bunch of mistakes because I forgot where I was at. So It's something that you need to be focused on, have time to dedicate to put this all together because it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It does take focus, organization, and just being, being spot on. That's all I can tell you. Otherwise, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. I have a laser printer, not an inkjet printer. If I had an inkjet printer, it'd probably cost 10 times as much to print all that material. But I have a laser printer and it worked stellar throughout the whole process. And so, yeah, the Canon multifunction, give it a thumbs up because I put it through the ringer. So like I said, if you want some help, you have a court case, you want to close it down, you want to do the same process that I just did. Okay. I don't know if this is 100% effective. All I know is that the same outline template was used here in Texas to shut a case down in Fort Worth. The same thing was used in Maryland. I don't know if it was a state case or a federal case. I just never asked, really. It didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was the individual had already been convicted of their offense, their charge, and was out on bond awaiting sentencing. So they contacted Anne and one of her associates. They put together this package, not that package, but a package for them, and sent it off to Maryland. And when he went in for his sentencing hearing, they told him, you're not even on our books anymore. And it just here. So that's what's going on with that. So for me, and to explain to you guys, I submitted my GSA bonds about 3 weeks ago now, along with the 1817 notice. Nothing. Crickets out of the court. They did file everything on the record in the portal, so you can actually go look at that. I don't know why they did it. IRS can see all that. What do you mean you didn't know? Right. That's what's going to happen. So it's there. It's crazy enough. But like I said, if you need some help, you have a case you want to shut down, I'll be more than happy to help you. I am going to be compensated for my time, my effort, my energy, my materials, because this is not, out of pocket, including postage. $1,500, $2,000 with the whole thing together. That doesn't include time. Compensate me for my time because I'm going to be conservative and say 10 hours a day for 7 days. So that's 70 hours. So if you do the math, you would give me a decent rate. Just give me $50 an hour. See what that comes to. So, and that's cheap. If you had a bar attorney do this for you, it would be a very considerable sum. You'd be getting like $250 an hour, $350 an hour, and a paralegal would be doing it. So, just letting you know that I don't talk shit. I do the shit. So, I'll digress back to the GSA bonds. So I filed those, nothing. Like I said, crickets. 1817 notice, crickets, nothing. Judicial notice that I did demanding all the criminal bonds, crickets, nothing. So that's my own experience. That's what's come out of that. They're receiving it. They're just not acting on it. They want to play dumb, play ignorant. So we're going to call in the feds, come see if we can get the cavalry to come in there. U.S. cavalry, come save the day. Blowing their little bugle, riding upon the plains, chasing us Indians. Is what it is. All right. I believe I've blown enough of your night. Oh, so what are you working on next, Floyd? You finished that Monday. Here it is Wednesday. What are you doing? Doing this. Yeah, what is this? Next major move, kids. and it's going into court tomorrow. I'm stepping. I'm high stepping. It's time I made my move. Been resting on my laurels for far too long. And it's time to move on, move up and move on. So I told all you guys that I have the process, and I'm sure that I've got more than one of them, and all this information that you guys have sent me over the past 3 years and longer, to get where I want to go. And guess what? It's time for me to go. So I'm doing everything I can in my power to make that possible and move on. Most of you guys, I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to sit around, chase each other in Telegram and play games. I'm not. I'm moving on. Just it is what it is. Will my path be available? Yes. I'm going to leave a legacy. There will be people who will have all the instruments that I have completed to complete my journey. And I'm not done yet. I have a lot more to do, and I'm going to get it done. That's why I want to get all this stuff completed and filed into these courts or these different agencies, bureaus, or departments, locally, county, state, and as well as international. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Don't know what else to tell you. I already hit the like, subscribe, share, all that. Don't know when I'll be back doing another video. I was going to do one on some other stuff on all these riots and shit that's going on, but I don't know. Maybe not. I think I've taken up enough of your night. Appreciate you guys being here. May or may not see you. If I don't see you before the weekend, y'all have a safe, happy weekend. Stay out of trouble. And I will see you again when I see you. And peace in the Middle East. Go RVing.